What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Bird's Eye View Show. We back with part 2. Like I said, you know I keep my promises to y'all. There's that reaction video. I know, yeah, that other one. We shooting that. I do keep my promise. But we're gonna get this part 2 knocked out. Finish this video out and see if we can find a highlight that's a little less on the Kamala bias side. Maybe, possibly. All right, maybe. But let's see. Let's finish with that.
Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies.
This is the one that weaponized, not me.
Which is crazy because that's what they just did.
She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy.
In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say
sarcastically.
That.
You know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically.
Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So
people say that that's a weird point to try to, that they seem to have tried to dig on, because I'll say, like, even like Kamala supporters, or not even, I wouldn't even say Kamala supporters, Trump haters, people that like hate him, say he's delusional because he says like he lost for just like 8 years. Like he been saying, or not saying that he lost. And it's like, how can you use him saying sarcastically that we barely lost while also the background rhetoric being he's crazy because he won't admit that he lost? It's like, I don't know. If y'all understand that little paradox there, it's weird to me. It's like that was an odd question for them to ask.
So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that.
Well, I mean, shoot, there's a lot of one-term presidents. Are all of them bad? Let me think. But I mean, like, I'm trying to think, how did Joe Biden win? Because you got to imagine, like, we don't like Joe Biden so much. You got to think, how did he win, though? Of course, he had the votes, but it's like, that's just a sway of the Electoral College, really, it seems like. And I think that Trump just can't deal with that fact. It's like, because the people wanted him, but the Electoral College did. Tough. But correct me if I'm correct. Listen, hey, if I'm wrong off the top of my head, correct me in the comments. Let's check out. Well, ABC's debate's gonna be ABC's debate. It's gonna be ABC's highlights. You know what I mean? See if I can find a more third-party, independent kind of source. Bloomberg quick take. I usually
Congress
watch Bloomberg
passes
for
a bill
financial news
to
because
put
that's usually what they're about. So you know what I mean.
back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade. As President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if
back for all that we've done for the world, and the tariff will be substantial in some cases.
my plan is to give a
Ooh,
50
Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world.
This is him talking about tariffs, and what irritates me about his current rhetoric so much because it's like, dude, I don't know if his economics are escaping him or what, but let me break it down. Trump, if you're listening for some reason, you levy more tariffs on the people shipping stuff in, well, they're gonna raise the costs of the goods to shave off that overhead, and the consumers pay the costs of the goods. So you screaming, we gonna get more tariffs, woo, 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 woo. It's like, that sounds like federal government gets more money while we pay higher prices. That's exactly what you're saying to the American people over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it is baffling somehow that he keeps using it, and it seems like he's using it to get at the negative connotation of foreigners for a lot of Americans out there. You know what I mean? He's trying to, and he's trying to tap into something negative, and that's what I don't really appreciate about it, because I can't imagine somebody in his position doesn't actually understand the tariff. But he assumes that enough Americans don't, that he could use it. He could use the word and put it with the word foreigners and make y'all rally for him, you know? And it's very negative to be using that to rally votes. You know, I don't like that at all.
And the tariff will be substantial in some cases.
My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy.
$50,000, that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. And I'd love to get that. But, like, who am I getting it from? The government. Facts. Okay, so who did you get it from? You got it from somewhere. You either a tax, right, or you just freaking printed it and gave it to me, which is equally as bad. Because if you just printed it and gave it to me, well, that means the dollars I already had are now worth less, because now there's extra dollars in the circulation that have no real real value. Nobody worked for the dollar. There was no labor, that went into that dollar. Like it goes against the system. This is where inflation, y'all. Inflation. That's inflation. You know what I mean? So yeah, come on. Yeah, it sounds good. Where are we gonna get it from? That's what you need to start talking about.
Me. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Let's talk about...
I'm saying, you talking about his taxes, what about yours? Because if you get in the office, you gonna have to be like, all right, I want to give $25,000 to all these small businesses, and then I'm like, all right, we'll give it out for you, but who pocket is finna come out of? Her assistant go turn her pockets inside out like, I ain't got it, Kamala. I don't know who you would. Where we supposed to get it from to give it to them? I got like 10 people call me right now. They got small business. They need 50,000 right now. Where we supposed to get it from? You know what I mean? That's a really big question. We need answers.
What Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Okay, see, like, that is misleading because pandemic. It's like the Democratic Party gets so much they say that they brought so many jobs. You're saying they've brought so many jobs. But the thing is, jobs were lost due to the pandemic that I'm pretty sure some powers that be had something to do with. So the thing is, my biggest issue with her pushing those numbers, because Democrats love to use numbers in weird context to get their point across. All the jobs, not all of them, but a big fat majority of all these jobs that they've been aren't new jobs, they're bounce back jobs. People gotta go back to work. It's like we gotta go, you gotta go back. Yeah, I mean, we gotta find some semblance of normalcy. We can't just have all these people out of work. But then you somehow gotta explain, and Trump mentioned it, you gotta explain how the Fed comes out and says, yeah, my bad, guys, we were like 818,000 jobs off. We didn't, those jobs aren't there. Yeah. We said there's 818,000 new jobs. There wasn't. It was bull. It was cap. They lied. That's insane. That's a really big number. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's like a revision. No, you knew, you lied. And they needed the numbers to look a certain way so that the Democrats could come with this kind of rhetoric. You dig what I'm saying? This is why you come to the Bird's Eye View show, so you can really understand what you dig what I'm saying. It's like the Republicans and Democrats are both really, 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 really bad. But they make it seem like the other person is less bad. You know what I mean? That's really their only goal at this point in doing all this stuff in the media. You know what I mean? It's like, make them look worse. They're starting to see us because we see you. We see you, see us seeing you. And that's why they're doing it.
And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century.
Granted, his response wasn't very good. I think we can all say that. We can all say his response to the entire situation wasn't very good, for sure. But the Democrats doing what they were supposed to do afterwards doesn't, I guess, make it that much worse. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not defending Trump. I'm just trying to give all the context.
Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is...
He did incite that. He did incite J6. Listen, I done a lot of objective research, and whether you believe it or not, like it or not, it's like he yes, Nancy, pretty sure, yeah, Nancy Pelosi is also just as much at fault because he tried to help after inciting it, but then they didn't accept his help. So
build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans. I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting.
I want to get to where she was talking about.
This year, Team Green hits the road to
I don't agree with the ads. Hold on, these not my ads. I don't got no ads yet. We ain't there yet. But she was talking about
Resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military.
As you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad.
All right, let's hit Project 2025. Okay, so I've seen Project 2025. Of course, if it was implemented, it'd be terrible. And yes, it was drafted by people that was in his administration previously, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I mean, like, there you have it. He says he doesn't want to do it. You could say, like, yeah, he'll do it anyway. But it's like, well, at that point, what are we listening to either of them for? You know what I mean? It's like, we gotta at least attempt to take what they're saying at some type of face value. You can't just dismiss every word. You know, it's there. You know, and he was asked about it. You wanted him to be asked about it. These are the questions that the American people wanted answered. That's all they're asking. And you know, Project 2025 was put out there, and then you ask him, he's like, damn that, I'm cool off that. All this other stuff, tariffs, yeah. 2025, I don't know nothing about that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, if he gets in office and it gets implemented, then I'm pretty sure he can be charged for lying like this. I'm pretty sure, like, we'll be able to get him up out of there if he tries it now, because he said he won't, right? Maybe. I know that there's a lot of legalese that goes into it, but like, I'm pretty sure you can't just like. Can they outwardly lie about policy? I don't think they can outwardly just lie about policy. Like, I won't do. I mean, like, nah, I won't say that. Cause like, there's been a lot of cases where there's been people that say they won't sign something, and they sign something, and woo dads like that. But it's just like with Project 2025, there's so many hurdles for that to get through. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of liberals in power. Like, it's not. Yeah, but we're pretty like dead center, and it's a teeter. You know what I mean? So it's just like, being afraid of something that was put out like that, it's like, okay, let's be rational, everybody. And Project 2025 just simply isn't rational. It's not rational at all. And that's why it's so scary. And it's like, people are like, it's like, it's not rational, guys. So let's just go ahead and put that in the back pocket, you know what I mean? And let's move forward with the things that we know that are possible that could harm us immediately, like tariffs and random business loans. Okay? Tariffs, random business loans. These are the things that we should be focused on, that they're talking about doing, that they could actually get done. Tariffs on Trump's side, which are bad for us, and too many extra random small business loans, which is on Kamala's side. Because where are you going to get all this money from? And not, I don't think these are loans. I think she's talking about more like on the grants. I think she wants grants. I don't even know why I said loans. I'm pretty sure she wants to just give the money out. Granted, it could be a loan, but it's just like, that's just more debt. More debt, everybody. Woo! It's not good either. But I digress. Let's get back into it.
But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic.
I ain't gonna lie. They did all right. Once they actually started responding well, they did all right. They saved. They did. The administration saved a lot of lives. I'll say though, the problem that I have, you know what? I'll let it play out, and I'll get back into it.
We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession.
All right. Let's stop there, because now we're in my realm. Now we're in the realm of we talking about monies. Now, first of all, I want to say when Trump was president, all markets were way more freaking volatile, and love it or hate it, I made so much money because of his tweets. And anytime he spoke, anytime he said anything, I was able to make money from the volatility, and that was awesome. That was cool and all. But when we talk about policy versus policy, who's going to be worse for the economy? Well, I've done the reviews of their what they've actually put out and outlined and the ramifications, and I've listened to some more experienced economists talk about it and dive into it and get into the strategies and whatnot of it. And I'm here to tell you flat out, neither of them are actually healthy for our economy in the long term. It's just, are you okay with seeing the repercussions of their stupidity now with Trump, or you want to see the repercussions of their stupidity later with your kids? That's what it is. That's the bird's eye view truth. Welcome to the Bird's Eye View show. That is the truth. And she just sat there and told you that he said his is bad and mine's is good. And that's a flat out goddamn lie. Because and well, you know what? It's not a lie that those people said it. these are liberal sources. You know what I mean? But if you go and look at independent economists, they're gonna tell you that, like, yeah, it sums up. You're gonna feel bad ramifications in the economy more immediately with Trump. You're gonna feel it more long term with Kamala. And if you just look at the government spending. The deficit just exploded from Biden. Biden has spent so much money, so much money. I mean, like, he spent more than anybody ever. Like, no other president has spent more than Biden. And his vice president was Kamala Harris. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not, like I said, I'm not advocating for either side. And as you guys could probably tell, I got an issue with Kamala just more so because she's been more recently in power. You know what I mean? And it's like, shorty, why wasn't you screaming all of this before? Like, yeah, everybody keeps saying like, oh, she didn't have power, but she was in the same rooms as the people that did and could get it done. At least try. You need to go to say it. It's like, why wouldn't you talk about this before? Like, you know what I mean? That's what hurts me. It's like, I don't trust you now. You know what I mean? It's like, what I can trust with Donald Trump is volatility. That's all I can really trust. That's it. With Kamala, I could probably trust more stability socially. Volatility in the markets with Trump, more stability socially with Kamala. That's what I could give both of them respectively. You know, we took things away from them. We're gonna give one to both. You know what I mean? Gotta tip for tap. But you know what I mean? And it's really just along the lines of, you know, where you stand in your ideals and your situation combined is probably gonna form, you know, which side you lean towards at the poll. Now, I love you regardless of who you vote for. I don't care. I think you're an amazing person. You're beautiful, regardless of who you go to the poll and vote for, or if you don't go to the poll and vote at all. You know what I mean? Like, you're welcome here. Your opinion is valued over here, regardless of what side you're on. We gonna dig into it and talk about it. Woo wow, whatever. And I'm actually enjoying doing content through this election cycle, and it's brought out a lot of more like opinions and discourse on, you know, TikTok and in the YouTube comments and whatnot, and I love it. I'm here for it because I've learned and seen and got to take in different angles and different reasons why, you know, different types of people are seeing things from different perspectives, and it's amazing. And it makes doing the bird's eye view show so much more worth it, you know what I mean, and gaining these experiences. So TikTok, YouTube, keep going crazy in my comments. Like, you know, y'all be roasting me sometimes. I'm here for it. Like, it's like 9 times out, like, a lot of people think I just don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of times it's like, go crazy. Listen. Comments, your opinions, this is where you let it out. You dig what I'm saying? Because you're going to get both sides of everything, and you're going to get my objective view on everything, because I like to be 100% unbiased, looking through all the bull, getting straight to the facts. All right? So if you enjoy being here, you enjoy getting this bird's eye view of these kind of topics, make sure you hit that sub button, hit the bell icon so you get notified as soon as I drop videos, so you can be the first in the comments, and you can be like, know the gang, you feel me? Be like, you be first, you know what I'm saying? You want to be first in the comments, you don't want to be late to the conversation, you dig what I'm saying? And then hit that like button so YouTube pushes this out to more people, and then we can get more people in the conversation and, you know, get the discourse going, because healthy discourse is how we grow, you know? All right? Make this go viral. I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'll catch y'all on the next one.